Hey, I'm Joel from This Century.
Joel from This Century, and how are you doing?
I'm doing dandy.
How's the tour going so far with the main?
So far the tour is amazing. Yeah.
So do you want to state like everybody's name and who plays what in This Century?
Yeah. Our drummer's name is Ryan. Our guitarist's name is Sean. Our bass guitarist's name is Alex. He is the brother of Sean, and I am Joel.
All right. How did This Century form?
This Century formed, basically, long story short, is Sean and Ryan met up. They had a project that they were unhappy with, decided to do their own thing. Alex, being the little brother, kind of got, I guess it was just by default Alex was going to play bass because they needed a bass player, and he started going to an art school and learning how to play bass, and then I met Alex at that art school as a vocalist, and he asked me to come audition for the band.
Where did the band name come from?
The band name came from, this is such a funny story. We used to be called Evident Earth, and it was a really, really terrible band name, because we got it from an internet band name generator, and we decided that it was time to change the band name because it was a pretty terrible name. So after about 2 weeks of trying to think of band names, Sean said something to the effect of, let's come up with a band name sometime this century. And then, I don't exactly know how it went down, but he called me late at night and said, hey, what do you think of This Century? And I said, why not?
Were your parents big influences growing up towards your choice to do music?
Yeah, my parents were huge influences. Everyone in my family is musical in some way. My mom is a piano voice teacher, so I did piano for a bit, so she got me started in music pretty early. And then, yeah, I just decided to do choir in high school, which she also encouraged. So yeah, definitely, and my dad the same way. He's very, very into music, so.
What is practice like?
Band practice?
Yeah.
Band practice is basically what you just heard. Ryan shakes a lot of tambourine, and that's pretty much it. We don't really get much done. No, I'm just kidding. Practices are, we typically like to run through the set a couple times, and then maybe we'll try a couple new songs and jam it out and see what happens and try and develop.
Could you like briefly describe the music making process, like the recording process?
The recording process is, well, from start to finish, the skeleton or idea of the song is usually written by like an idea Sean has or Alex, and normally they have like a little, Sean will have like a little, you know, like a melody idea or something like that, or a chord, like a riff or something on guitar, and then he'll bring it to us, and then we normally will take it and shape it, you know, like a pottery, you know. We all of us put our hands on that piece of clay and make a bowl together, and then we go into the studio and record it, and that's where things get crazy because that's where a lot of ideas start flowing, and we add in little things, and, you know, kind of listen back and see what we want to change.
When did you pick up your first instrument, and was it like comfortable to pick up and start playing, or was it a difficult task at first?
I picked up my first instrument when I was like probably 13 or 14. It was this dusty acoustic guitar that was sitting in my brother's room. He never used it, so I just started kind of messing around on it, and it was a little uncomfortable at first, especially with most guitar players know that when you first start playing, it hurts a lot to hold the strings, and then you kind of develop these calluses, so it was a little weird and awkward for me, but I kept at it, and I remember every day I would go home after school and just play guitar for hours and hours and hours, so.
What has been the biggest challenge as a band, and have you been able to overcome that challenge?
Biggest challenge as a band? I would say, I don't know. Biggest challenge as a band? I guess because touring is a challenge just because you're living with a bunch of different people, you know, and just not going crazy on tour. But also, I guess, yeah, just getting your music out there and really getting into that next level. You know, it's a longer process than what I anticipated going into it. It's fun.
Are all the members that are in this century right now the original members, or was there like loss of members and gain of members?
We are the original 4. We've had a couple different members join, and then we just decided it wasn't really working. It seems to be a 4-piece. It feels natural for us. So.
Where does your passion for music originate?
My passion for music originates. I would say it originates from early on, I guess. Just being raised around music and seeing, you know, being taken to shows or concerts and seeing what people do and seeing how it can affect people in such a positive way. And like, you know, I mean, in high school I used to, you know, when I was feeling down, I would listen to music for, you know, just sit in my room and listen to music, and it made me feel awesome. So I guess that's where it really started. That's where I guess when I really decided that I wanted to do music, is just giving that same feeling, or that whatever it is that it does for people, to them, you know.
What's the ultimate direction for the band?
The ultimate direction for the band: arenas, stadiums. No, I guess we are. Well, I mean, I can talk about this, the direction of this new record, and I think it's a kind of, you know, something that we really back, is kind of rooting for the underdog, and, you know, just, I guess, hoping that kids can relate to, you know, I mean, everyone's kind of been an underdog before, you know, high school or whatever, so, and it took us a while to kind of reach the point that we're at, but, I guess, yeah, rooting for the underdog and just having fun music, and still, I don't know, just not abandoning musicianship. We're really big on musicianship too. So.
How would you describe the word success?
Success. I would say success. Well, it just depends on what you're talking about. With the band, though, success, I would say being able to do it for a living and still have a great time would be a success for me.
Who are your major influences?
Personally, or like the band as a whole?
Personally.
Personally, my major influences. I'm big on Brandon Boyd from Incubus. He's a great vocalist. Oddly enough, I like Josh Groban. Have you heard of Josh Groban before?
I've heard the name, but I've never listened.
I guess he would be considered pop rock or whatever. I like him a lot. I guess any bands that I can jam out to and you know, enjoy listening to would be influence me in some way.
How about the band? Like, what's the band?
Our influences are kind of Jimmy World, the Strokes. We like them a lot. The Beatles. I know Sean's really big on Radiohead. We kind of all like Radiohead. Yeah, we like a lot of Britpop too. Coldplay.
If someone was to write a book about your life, what would the title be?
What would the title be? Wow, that's really tough. I think I would just want it to be called Joel. I know that's a really boring title, though. I don't know. I really don't know. That's really tough. Slow and steady, maybe. Slow and steady.
If you could be locked in a store for 1 week, what store would it be?
Locked in a store. Oh wow. I really like Target. Target's a great store. I could spend days in Target. Any kind of Cabela's. I know. I heard Austin say Dick's Sporting Goods, which is actually a great choice because you can camp out and, you know, make your own meals and whatnot. So I don't know. Any one of those two, I guess. Target or a sporting goods place.
At least no, he didn't say Walmart.
Oh no, not Walmart. I can't do Walmart.
What was high school like for you?
High school was a really, really weird time for me. And I say that because I think I went through like 4 or 5 different phases, you know, or whatever. You're always labeled something in high school. You kind of have to be labeled something. So I don't know. I think high school I was just finding myself, you know, and I know a lot of people say that, but you really are finding yourself. And looking back now, I realized that I was completely like lost, and like I didn't really know what direction I was going. But I mean, I was kind of like a bro kid for a while, and then I was a skater, and then I was like this scene kid, and then I don't even know. I started becoming a musician, so I started focusing more on that, and that's kind of when it started, and I kind of pinpointed where I wanted to be. So.
Favorite and least favorite venues?
Favorite, least favorite. Least favorite venue, I could say. I forget the name, but it was someplace in San Antonio that we had to play last minute because the other venue we were going to play at kind of forgot about the show. So we played for some hardcore punk rock band, so we stuck out like sore thumbs. But it was actually kind of cool. The kids were down to give us a listen, and no one was really impolite, but it was just the venue was outside, and it was really hot and humid. It was Texas in summer, so least favorite. And then favorite, I don't know. I hate picking favorites because I'm afraid that people everywhere else are going to get mad. But Toronto, Canada was awesome on this tour, but anywhere there's fans.
Actually, mentioning Toronto, at T-Painey on Twitter wanted to know if you guys...
T-Pain?
I don't know, it's spelled different, I don't think it was T-Pain.
Oh.
But,
you say T-Pain like something?
No, but she wanted to know if you would be coming back to Toronto anytime soon.
Yes, we plan to come back to Toronto as soon as we possibly can. We have a tour in the fall coming up. I'm not exactly sure what the routing is on that, but if we don't hit Canada on that tour, we're gonna try and hit it as soon as we can because we love Canada.
If you could only listen to one song for the rest of the year, what song would you choose?
I Don't Trust Myself with Love by John Mayer.
Why?
That's my favorite song. Yeah, it's a great song.
Anything else you'd like to say to your fans?
New record coming out soon. New tour coming out, and most of all, thank you very much for following us and for sticking with us through this long journey, and we promise we won't disappoint you. So. Hey, I'm Joel from This Century, and I love Popsicle Stand Promotions.